It's a blowout. 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits on a 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball. Deep center field. It is gone. Home run. And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Flippin Bats from Japan. Today is the Day 7 recap. I am continuing to have the time of my life. I am shooting this episode from the Sapporo Dome, home of the Nippon Ham Fighters, which is also the team that Shohei Ohtani played on for years out here professionally in Japan. So really cool to be here. It's been an awesome day so far, but you'll hear all about this one in tomorrow's episode. This is the Day 7 recap, and Day 7 was a travel day. But before I traveled, I had to, and I mean had to, go ride the roller coaster directly next to the Tokyo Dome. It is called the Thunder Dolphin, and it brings the thunder. It was incredible. Did a whole video on it, so if you want, go watch it on TikTok. But it was really fun. It was a really fun roller coaster. I didn't really know what to expect because you just see it from the outside, and I just knew I wanted to ride it. But it's right next to the Tokyo Dome, which is one of the most iconic venues in the world. So naturally, you have to ride the roller coaster right next to it. But I wasn't expecting like big and great, you know. But it was fantastic. The experience was great from the beginning because it took you had to pay in cash, which was yen only, and we didn't have yen. So the process of going to get the yen was an interesting one. We went to an ATM that was right next to the roller coaster. Turns out that ATM was only for a certain bank, which I'm not using that bank. So we had to go find another one. But the process at that ATM was really funny as well, just because I couldn't figure out how to get the money out. I kept putting in my card, and it'd push it back out, and I kept putting it in. And then the girl there behind me, who was lovely and trying her best to help, was just like shaking her head. And then at one point said to pick up the phone. I picked up the phone, and it was in all Japanese. So it was quite the process. But finally, through Google Translate, she told us that there's a 7-Eleven around the corner, and there is where you can get some yen. So went to the 7-Eleven, got out some cash, and from there headed over to the roller coaster. Got in line. The process there in line is interesting there as well, because not all, most places say, take all your valuables out, don't have anything important in your pockets. Oh no, they metal detect you, and anything that you have on you needs to go in this bag that they put together. Watches, phones, hats, everything. So from there, it was on the roller coaster. I was finally going to experience it. I started going up and immediately realized this is a legit roller coaster. I was going basically on, how you go on a roller coaster, the incline's typically a little longer. You climb up. This was a fast incline, and it was almost 90 degrees. I felt like I was going straight up. I was going very fast. It went very high, and there's a point at which you're like, oh boy, this is quite the roller coaster. So ended up going down. It's very fast. It's a very fun roller coaster. So if you ever have the chance to ride the Thunder Dolphin, you need to do it because it's a great roller coaster. But from there, it was time to hustle back to the hotel, where it was then time to take off for the airport. So it was a travel day to Hokkaido, which is where I am now. Sapporo Dome is here. But I had an absolute blast in Tokyo. My last few episodes, all of those days are from Tokyo. But, it was kind of sad leaving Tokyo because I've had so many memories there. And but I am excited to be here in Hokkaido at the Sapporo Dome. And I land in Sapporo. It's about an hour and a half flight. Not super long, but you get here and you immediately realize that it is beautiful. It's very mountainous. They're known for skiing. So the Olympics were here back in the 70s. The skiing was done here. They're known for their food. So naturally, I got really excited about that. But initial impressions in Hokkaido is it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a little rural. Mountains off in the distance everywhere you look. So that's kind of setting the scene for you, if you will. But I did hear the food was great, so naturally, one of the first things I did, check into the hotel, and from there, it was off to dinner. Had one of the best dinners, if not the best dinner that I have had here in Japan. It was unbelievable. unbelievable. Sushi, soup, all different kinds of sushi. I had uni for the first time. I've said before, I am just really committed to diving into the culture and to learning all I can about this culture, and this dinner was no different. Had a private room, our own private chef. He was making everything right in front of us from scratch. I mean, he would slice the fish or whatever it was it was perfection. I mean, this guy was a surgeon with like the biggest knife you could imagine. I mean, down to like the millimeter. This guy was unbelievable at what he was doing. I was amazed at just watching him before we even got the food. But just piece after piece of sushi was coming out, and it was one of the best meals that I have ever had, certainly. And then, at the end of the meal, obviously my mind goes to, hey, I want dessert. So, you guys know Masa. I've talked a lot about Masa. He's a legend. He's helping us get around out here. He's my translator. He's been on the show, Flippin Bats, every single day. He does the word of the day. But here at dinner, he got us dessert. He was responsible for the dessert. I said, "Hey, Masa, what's going to be for dessert?" And he goes, "I got that covered." I didn't know what that meant. I had no idea. But next thing you know, this restaurant that is unbelievable is carrying out dessert for us that Masa had called and gotten this dessert for us. It got to the restaurant we were at and they served it to us. It was unbelievable. It's very hard to explain, but it's kind of like an ice cream sandwich, but it was with this like vanilla-ish, but I don't want to say vanilla because that makes it sound bland, but it was like this vanilla-esque ice cream, and there were raisins in it. It was perfect. And I don't know how to explain it. You just have to eat it to believe it. You have to eat it to believe it. It was just that good. It was incredible. And dinner was incredible from the get-go. But speaking of Masa, I need to say thank you to Masa for this experience and everything. Look, would we have survived out here in Japan without him? Yes. But would I have had the time that I'm having now without him? No. So I am so grateful that a year and a half ago, he happened to come in my life to ask me to do something for a Japanese news station, which is my first time going on the news or doing something for media in Japan. Fast forward, I ended up doing so many things in the news for Japan. It was incredible, but he was the one that started all of that, and that's how our relationship started. Now, fast forward to where we are here, and the first person that came to mind when I knew that I needed to bring somebody out here with me was Masa. So shout out to him for, one, giving me the word of the day every single day, and two, just really helping me out here and really becoming a friend of mine, and it's been so great having him out here. Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.